Hello everyone, I am Silvia Olives, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Bishop Weber College. I am here to deal with the topic Events of a Plot. So, what is a plot? Plot is the way an author creates and organizes a chain of events in the narrative. Plot is the foundation of a story. Plot must follow a logical format. It highlights a specific and purposeful cause and effect relationship between a sequence of major events in the narrative. In aspects of the novel, E. M. Forster argues that instead of merely revealing random events that occur within a text, plot emphasizes causality between these events. So a plot will have a beginning, middle, and the end. So beyond all this, there is a lot more for a plot structure. So every plot will have these 5 elements in this order. They are exposition or introduction, rising action, climax or turning point, falling action, resolution or denouement. So the first part, exposition or introduction. The first part of the plot establishes the main characters and setting. We get to know who is who, when and where the story takes place. At this point, the reader is just getting to know the world of the story and what it's going to be all about. The primary conflict or tension around which the plot revolves is also usually introduced here in order to set up the course of events for the rest of the narrative. This tension could be the first meeting between two characters or the start of mystery and so on. The second part is rising action. In this part, the primary conflict is introduced and is built upon to create tension both within the story and the reader. The conflict may affect one character or multiple characters. Here, the author should have clearly communicated to the reader the states of this conflict. In other words, the possible consequences. This is the part of the plot that sets the rest of the plot in motion. Excitement grows as tension gets higher and higher, ultimately leading to the climax of the story. For example, in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the rising action would be when we learn who Voldemort is and lots of bad things start happening which the characters eventually realize are all connected to Voldemort. The third part is climax or turning point. This is the most important part of the story. The climax is the biggest plot point. This puts a character in a situation wherein a choice must be made that will affect the rest of the story. This is the critical moment that all the rising action has been building up to, and the point at which the overarching conflict is finally addressed. Tensions are highest here, instilling in the reader a sense of excitement, dread, and urgency. In classic tales of heroes, the climax would be when the hero finally faces the big monster, and the reader is left to wonder who will win and what this outcome could mean for the other characters in the story. The fourth part is falling action. This is when the tension has been released and the story begins to wind down. We start to see the results of the climax and the main character's action and get a sense of what this means for them and the world they inhabit. The author ties up loose ends in the main plot and any subplots. For example, in To Kill a Mockingbird, we see the consequences of the trial and Atticus Finch's involvement in it. Tom goes to jail and is shot and killed. Scout and Jem are attacked by accuser Bob, who blames their father for making a fool out of him during the trial. So the final part is resolution or denouement. This final plot point is when everything has been wrapped up and the new world and a new sense of normalcy for the characters has been established. The conflict from the climax has been resolved and all loose ends have been neatly tied up. There is a sense of finality and closure here, making the reader feel that there is nothing more they can learn or gain from the narrative. The resolution can be pretty short, sometimes just a paragraph or so. It might even take the form of an epilogue, which generally takes place a while after the main action and the plot of the story. Resolution needn't always be a happy ending. Resolutions can be tragic and entirely unexpected too, like in the case of Romeo and Juliet, where the two lovers are dead in the end. Thank you.